Welcome to Step by Step, the podcast where I break it all down. Life, drama, gossip, and everything in between. I'm your host, Taya, and this is my audio journal, filled with stories, reflections, and the kind of tea you won't find anywhere else. Each episode, we'll take it step by step, starting with Monday mindfulness to kickstart your week, diving into the magic of Wednesdays with our main episode, and wrapping up with Your Say Friday, where your stories, questions, and even a little anonymous gossip take center stage. This isn't just my podcast, it's ours. So grab your headphones and take this journey with me, one step at a time. Hi everyone, and welcome back to Step by Step, the podcast. Thank you for tuning in and for showing your support once again, and for wanting to hear what I have to share. I am truly grateful. And I promise you that this episode will not disappoint. Let's step right into today and step towards the best version of you. It begins with one crucial question: who do I want to become? Gaining clarity on this vision is the foundation for transformation. And when you don't have a clear sense of who you're striving to be, your efforts may feel scattered, or you may feel like you have no direction. To create change, you must first visualize your future self in vivid detail. This is a person you'll align your actions with starting today. So if you haven't already listened to Monday's episode, make sure you do. It will help you visualize who you want to be. Visualization is very powerful. And I want you to take a moment to close your eyes, if safe to do so, and imagine the most magnificent version of yourself. What does this person look like? How do they move through the world? Imagine their energy, their habits, and how they spend their time. Are they confident and composed, or vibrant and full of life? This future version of you already exists in the realm of possibility. So your task is to bring them out into the current reality and bridge the gap between where you are now and where you want to be. Once you gain clarity on your ideal self, you need to align your behavior with this version of you. So, for example, if your goal is to become a successful business owner, consider how that version of you spends their time. What actions do they prioritize? How do they present themselves to the world? If your vision is a fitter, more energized self, ask yourself, what do their daily routines look like? How do they fuel their body? How do they embrace movement and fitness? By identifying these habits, these decisions and mindset of your future self, you're creating a roadmap to begin acting as though you've already stepped into that role. This is where the concept of faking it until you make it comes into play. But I do need to clarify, and I think it's really important to clarify what that means. It's not about pretending to be someone that you're not or acting inauthentically. It's about embodying traits and behaviors of your future self and the person that you want to be. Even if they feel unfamiliar at first, this practice allows you to step into that energy and give the universe a clear sign of your intentions. Imposter syndrome is a big part of I think a lot of us experience imposter syndrome at some stage in one shape or form. And imposter syndrome can take place when you begin stepping into unfamiliar roles or taking bold actions. Then you get feelings of self-doubt. You might hear a little voice in your head whispering, "You're not ready, you don't belong here." Rest assured, you do, and you're not alone. Nearly everyone experiences this at some point in their journey. The key to overcoming imposter syndrome is to remind yourself that you don't have to have all the answers right now. Just trust the process and take it one step at a time. Every small action that you take aligns you with your vision, and it reinforces the belief that you're capable and deserving of what it is that you want or what it is that you're trying to do. So over time, both you and those people around you will begin to see the truth of your transformation. Just go easy on yourself when it comes to that. And when you catch yourself thinking, call it out. Okay, so let's take some actions towards living as your future self. Take a moment to imagine who it is and really sink into that visualization. Make it feel as real as possible. The most magnificent version of you is very much alive. So ask yourself, how do I behave? So now that you've thought about it, take a few minutes and think of 5 things your future self does daily. This could be small habits, attitudes, or choices that align with your ideal self. Things like wake up early and start the day with intention. Or you could have prioritize physical activity, whether that's a workout, a walk, or stretching. Commit to self-care practices that nurture your mental and emotional health. Starting today, incorporate these 5 things into your life. You don't need to be perfect, you just need to be consistent. These small intentional actions will not only move you closer towards your goals, but also reprogram your subconscious to align with your new reality. It is really important to recognize and acknowledge that change is never easy, and stepping into unfamiliar territory can feel uncomfortable and frightening. This most definitely means it is not going to be easy when you do something new or align your behavior with who you're trying to be. It will not be comfortable, and this is because your subconscious mind craves familiarity. It relates comfort with safety, even if the familiar habits and patterns are not serving you. When you start making changes, your subconscious might resist, encouraging you to self-sabotage by creating excuses or seeking out distractions. You will need to step into a place of discomfort, and you really do have to do this if you want it to work. It will probably feel so uncomfortable that our subconscious will desperately try and pull us back to what we're used to feel safe again. And clearly that is not where we want to go. It will sabotage opportunities for you and consciously encourage you to surround yourself with people who bring you down and whose energy will overshadow yours. You have to be proactive in acknowledging the thoughts of self-sabotage and taking action against them. After you do that for some time, you will begin to see and feel a difference. Your confidence will grow. I mean, I've been there. I've seen that. And when I realized this is when I achieved my goals, and more specifically, my fitness goals. Being able to achieve my fitness goals, I'm able to apply that to other things in my life because now I have the tools that I need. So self-sabotage is something I have experienced a lot. I feel like a lot of people have, and needless to say, I probably will still have many more self-sabotaging moments. I mean, not probably, definitely. You can't really eliminate them altogether, but if we're aware of them, we are able to stop ourselves from giving into self-sabotage. Being aware of what your subconscious is trying to do allows you to overcome it and stay focused to where you want to be. You need to sit through the discomfort until you establish a new familiarity and learn to live with this new empowered place until it feels like home. That's how you create lasting change. Recognize this resistance for what it is, a natural part of the process. Remind yourself that it's a sign that you're growing. Know that every time you push through, you're creating a new normal for your mind and body. Think about this process as moving into a new house. This is your new home, At first, everything feels unfamiliar. The layout, the lighting, you don't know its quirks yet. It's basically someone else's home and you are just living in it. It's not the toilet that you're used to. So what do? Move out? Probably not, hey? The more you live in it, the more it begins to feel like yours. And eventually it becomes your new home and your new familiar. Similarly, as you align your actions with your future self, this new way of living will become a second nature. We must challenge our fears and doubts and act as if we are the person we already want to become, because this shows the universe that we're ready for growth. And when we are ready, opportunities flow our way because we have aligned our energy with our goals and we understand the why of what is driving them towards us. Opportunities don't come to us when we are sitting in our comfort zone. And if they do, we probably don't take them anyway because we're so comfortable with where we are that uncomfortable situations are just something that we're not ready for. When someone says they are thinking of quitting their job or starting a new venture, I'm going to say yes, do it. If you're questioning it, it no longer serves you and you are just waiting for the readiness to move on and take it. Mostly, anyway. So when you think about what you want in life, you get ideas and you get creative. These ideas come and go, but when inspiration is there, jump on it. Doesn't matter where it comes from. These ideas that you experience are little gifts from the universe and they have come to you for a reason. It's an opportunity for you to step out of your comfort zone and create things and create change. Make the most self-loving decision to follow your dreams and get out of your comfort zone to act on these ideas. If it is truly something that you want, you will make it happen one way or another. When you want something, you do need to be clear on what it is you want and why. The why is what's going to drive you and help you stay focused, especially in times when we do feel less inspired or motivated. It will keep you motivated. How do you figure out the why though? Well, whenever you think of something you want, ask yourself what you think achieving that goal will do for you energetically, emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually, all of it. How will it affect your day-to-day life and feelings of peace and contentment? Let's step back into self-sabotaging for a moment because there is nothing more easier to do than to make excuses up for yourself. I'm too tired. I can't do it perfectly. It's not for me. I struggle with this too and I try to push through it. I love to do things perfectly and I often feel that if I'm not doing it perfectly, I'm failing. But that's not true. And now that I've realized that it doesn't have to be perfect, I just have to do it. You know, even when you're making a podcast, for example, right now, when you finish that podcast, you might think, oh my gosh, I should have added this or I should have said this. But when you realize that, no, you can just make that a new episode, make it a new segment, use what you've got, then you have found a tool to help you push through. It's important that you don't overwhelm yourself too much to the point of giving up. But if you do fight it, for example, based on that whole podcast thing, if I decided to cut and edit, it would become so overwhelming that I would probably give up. It is really hard to fight things in that situation, but you know, you just find new tools and find new ways and you do fight it. We have to expose our excuses for what they are, and what they are is just an expression of fear and doubt. They come out to hold us back and stop us from moving forward and into our power and really stepping into our light. But how do we remove excuses? A good place to start is by questioning every aspect of them. And by questioning them, we are taking away their power. I watched a TikTok and it said, how do you respond to someone who belittles you? You calmly make them say it again. You say, I need you to repeat that. Then they don't get the dopamine hit that they were expecting from your reaction. You put a big spotlight on their behavior and that makes them nervous. Regardless of whether they repeat it to you or not, You turn the tables with questions of intent. You ask, did you want to hurt me? Was it your intention to embarrass me? And instead of a spotlight, they now have a mirror that they have to face themselves with the question, what was my purpose in saying that? Quite often, they haven't even thought that deeply about it. Lastly, no matter what they say next, don't respond. Let your silence be their answer. They may say they are just joking or just fumbling and backtracking, but let them sit in that uncomfort, and that's when you're in control of the conversation. The reason I bring this up is because it's very similar to self-sabotage. Speak to your sabotage like that. Question it and its intentions and whether it is truly a reflection of you and a reality, or is it just a fear and doubt? Take its power away. Next time you say you're too tired or something, ask yourself, what am I afraid of? Or why am I saying this? What would happen if I removed the excuse? I've mentioned this in the first episode, but I do feel like it's relevant to mention again. There's been times I have go to the gym, and just as I'm about to walk out the door, dressed, ready to go, I'll say, I'm too tired. I'll just rest tonight. And that's fine. But, if I haven't gone for a whole week and I'm saying this, it is more likely self-sabotage and it is not aligning with my goals. Quite often, I will go for a shower and get ready to relax. But this wave of guilt will rush over me. I'll come out of the shower, put my gym clothes on, and just go. I feel guilty for self-sabotaging. I say to myself, I don't have to have a crazy workout, just show up for myself, even if it's just 5 minutes. No one's watching me, no one's telling me to do this. I'm not disappointing anyone but myself. The fact that I even just walk through that door and show up is bigger than anything. Once you show up, you're more likely going to do something there. Maybe 5 minutes on the treadmill or a couple of exercises. Maybe have the best workout of your life. And that's when you push through. That's when you feel capable and you feel proud and strong. You need to resist the urge to give up and instead find an alternative way to move forward. I don't have to go to the gym and I don't have to do the best workout every time. I just have to show up for myself. Challenges are going to be an inevitable part of life, and rather than seeing them as limitations, begin to see them as gifts and opportunities, chances for us to show up for us and learn something new. These challenges push us in directions and give us new perspectives in life. So make a choice right now to be guided by challenges that you face instead of putting them off. You are stronger than the challenge that you are faced with. So just be kind to yourself. And speaking of being kind to yourself, let's just touch a little bit on self-love. Self-love deserves its own platform, so I do want to do that eventually. But for now, let's talk about it a little bit. Self-love comes with healthy habits like journaling, meditation, affirmations, gratitude, daily walks, skincare, baths, exercise. And I'm going to say again, gratitude. It slows you down to the moment we are in and helps us see the small things in life. Changes are best made slowly. Small changes that you make day to day tend to be habits. And healthy habits help us be the person that we want to become, to be the energy we want to attract. If you want to be a powerful, successful leader, you begin to form habits that a powerful, successful leader might have. Things like waking up early, having daily practices to manage stress, and learning to dedicate your time to things that you need. By committing to these practices, you're aligning your behavior with the person that you want to be, and you become it, leading us back to faking it until you make it. These habits are what help you fake it. These habits are what change your life. Think about 3 daily practices you will begin to incorporate in your life and make a commitment to yourself to do them every day for 66 days. That's the number of days that it takes to form a habit. And yes, I know I've said that before in some of the other podcasts, but it is so true, and that's something that has really stuck with me. So I feel like it is something that needs to be repeated. For example, you'll wake up at 7 a.m. every day. You'll journal every evening before bed instead of scrolling through your phone, and you'll do some form of exercise, whether it's a walk or a stretch or a HIIT class. As you go, you can continue to incorporate more healthy habits, but just don't overwhelm yourself with too many at once. Again, when I say fake it until you make it, you're not faking a person, you're not being a character, you're not faking a personality. You still have to stay true to yourself. That's very, very important. Being your authentic self is what's going to give you success. Think about the most magnetic people that you know. The ones that walk into a room and light the place up. They always have other people gravitating towards them. These people are usually completely, unapologetically, and authentically themselves. They're proud of who they are, they're comfortable in their own skin, and they're not afraid to stand out. When we are unapologetically ourselves, we are magnetic. Through our whole life, we search for validation around people and clues on how to be loved. We take notes when we do something that makes us lovable or funny, and we do more of it as we grow up. It's natural. We continue this pattern and we shape ourselves based on the feedback we get from our family, friends, and the community. We're taught to seek out external validation and associate our self-worth with opinions and judgment of others. It's through this that we develop our people-pleasing tendencies, which become the enemy of authenticity. To discover your authentic self, you must gain awareness. Every time something happens, question it and make sure you are staying true to yourself. Question everything, because it's in those questions that you will find your answers. Embody the person you want to become by aligning your behaviors and being proactive in your thoughts and habits. The journey to becoming your best self starts now. Who do you want to be, and what will you do today to honor your visions? Don't be limited by your fears. Step outside your comfort zone. Live authentically with self-love through daily practices and healthy habits, and more importantly, committing to your own well-being while staying true to yourself. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this episode or have any feedback, or if you want to hear more, please follow and subscribe to be featured in Your Say Friday. Send me a message on Instagram or email me at stepbystep_pod@hotmail.com with your thoughts, comments, or any questions you'd like to share, or really anything that you want to share. I'm here to share it for you. Until next time.